To understand the current political climate, we need to trace back the complex relationship between the army and politics in Pakistan, a history dotted with military coups and martial laws. The first instance of this interference dates back to 1958, when then-President Iskander Mirza abrogated the constitution and declared martial law, a move that was swiftly followed by General Ayub Khan's military coup. This marked the beginning of a dark era, where the military's hands delved deep into the realm of politics, steering the nation's course according to their own whims and fancies. Over the years, Pakistan has witnessed 3 successful military coups, with the army ruling the country for approximately 3 decades in total. The echoes of military boots marching in the corridors of power have been a common occurrence, casting a long shadow over the country's democratic processes. The army's interference has not limited itself to overt seizures of power. It has often been accused of manipulating political dynamics from behind the scenes. Whether it's the orchestration of political alliances, the engineering of elections, or the control over foreign and security policies, the military's omnipresence in political affairs is a reality that cannot be overlooked. The army's role in politics has been so dominant that it has led to the term establishment becoming synonymous with military leadership in the country's political discourse. This establishment is often seen as the real power centre, with civilian governments viewed as mere puppets dancing to the tunes of the military. This historical perspective sets the backdrop for our further discussion on the current political scenario. How does the army influence public perception in Pakistan? Let's delve deeper into this issue. In Pakistan, the military uses a variety of methods to shape public opinion. One of the most prominent tactics is the use of media. The army has considerable sway over the national media landscape, often dictating the narrative to suit their objectives. This control is not always overt, but it's enough to ensure that the army's actions are often portrayed in a positive light. In addition to media, the army employs patriotic rhetoric as a tool for manipulation. The military perpetuates the narrative of themselves as the guardians of the nation. They project an image of the army as the country's saviour, the only institution capable of protecting Pakistan from internal and external threats. This narrative is deeply ingrained in the public consciousness, making it difficult for anyone to question the army's actions without being labelled unpatriotic. Furthermore, the military uses fear as a tool to maintain its stronghold. By constantly highlighting the threats to national security, whether real or perceived, the army manages to convince the public of their indispensable role. They position themselves as the ultimate protectors of the nation, thus justifying their influence in political affairs. Let's not forget the army's role in education. The military runs a number of schools and colleges across the country. These institutions are often used as tools for indoctrination, instilling a particular worldview in students from a young age. Through this, the military ensures that future generations continue to view the army in a positive light, thus perpetuating their power. Lastly, the army also uses its welfare activities to gain public support. The military's involvement in relief efforts during natural disasters and crises is well documented. While these efforts are commendable, they also serve to bolster the army's image as a benevolent and indispensable institution. This manipulation of public perception serves as a tool for the army to maintain its stronghold on the country's politics. Let's turn our attention to recent political developments and the army's role in it. The downfall of Imran Khan, Pakistan's former Prime Minister, is a tale that has left many dumbfounded. Khan, who once enjoyed considerable popularity and support, faced over 180 charges, leading to his sentencing to 10 years in jail. Strangely, he seemed nonchalant during his trial, as if he knew the outcome was predetermined. The troubling part of this story lies in the allegations that the army played a part in orchestrating Khan's downfall. Amidst a purge of Khan's political party, the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, and restrictions on media coverage, Khan's relationship with the army appeared to sour, leading to his eventual downfall. Simultaneously, we see the resurgence of former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, a figure seen as a safe choice for the US, despite his poor economic record. The army's hand in bringing Sharif back into the political arena has been a topic of intense discussion. The power dynamics in Pakistan seem to indicate that the true power lies not with the elected officials, but with the military. Recent elections in Pakistan further highlight the army's influence. Reports of irregularities and allegations of vote rigging have marred the electoral process. As protests erupted across the country due to delays in releasing the final results, the army called for stability and unity among political leaders. The military, a dominant player in Pakistani politics, is expected to support a weak coalition government led by Sharif's party, the Pakistan Muslim League. These recent events underscore the army's continued influence on Pakistan's political landscape. I've discovered something intriguing. Now, it's time to uncover it. What does all this mean for democracy in Pakistan? It's a question that beckons deep thought and understanding of the current political climate. The implications of the army's interference in politics are far-reaching and detrimental to the democratic fabric of the nation. A democracy thrives on the principle of civilian rule, where the government is elected by the people, for the people. However, in the case of Pakistan, this principle is being undermined. The army's involvement in the political arena has led to a weakening of civilian government, as seen with the orchestrated downfall of Imran Khan, a popular figure with the masses. This interference not only destabilizes the civilian government, but also raises questions the future of democracy in the country. Beyond the undermining of civilian rule, the army's influence has also been instrumental in the suppression of dissent. Political opponents, media outlets, and anyone who dares to voice a contradictory opinion face the risk of being silenced. The crackdown on Khan's political party, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, is a prime example of this. Arrests, resignations, and restrictions on media coverage have become the new norm, stifling the voices of dissent and undermining the democratic value of free speech. Perhaps one of the most alarming implications is the allegations of election rigging. The recent elections were marred by violence, suspension of mobile services, and reported irregularities. These events cast a shadow over the credibility of the electoral process. The delayed results, ambiguous majority, and allegations of vote rigging have left the nation in a state of uncertainty. The army's role in these events raises serious concerns about the sanctity of the democratic process, where the will of the people is supreme. In conclusion, the army's interference poses significant challenges to the democratic process in Pakistan. It not only undermines the civilian government and suppresses dissent, but also taints the credibility of the electoral process. As the world watches, the future of democracy in Pakistan hangs in the balance. The question remains, will the democratic process prevail, or will the army continue to cast its long shadow over the nation's politics? Only time can tell. As we wrap up our discussion, let's reflect on the key points we have discussed. We have delved into the intricate web of the Pakistan Army's interference in politics, a trend that has been going on for years. This involvement has not only skewed the public perception of political realities, but also has had profound implications on recent political developments. In the context of the recent elections, the army's role in the downfall of Imran Khan and the return of Nawaz Sharif has been quite apparent, yet the popularity of Khan's political party, the PTI, remains undeterred. This scenario has led to a volatile political climate, marred by social unrest, protests, and allegations of vote rigging. The army's influence is not just affecting the political landscape, but also the very fabric of democracy in Pakistan. The democratic process has been compromised, and the will of the people is being undermined. The election outcomes, rather than reflecting the people's choice, seem to be predetermined by the army's influence and preferences. Looking towards the future, the implications of this interference are far-reaching. The potential for social unrest and political instability looms large. Yet, amidst this uncertainty, there are possibilities for change. The international community, including the US, UK, and EU, has voiced concerns and called for investigations into the irregularities reported in the recent elections. Their role could be instrumental in ensuring a fair and democratic process in the future. However, the ultimate power for change lies with the people of Pakistan. Their resilience, their demand for justice, and their quest for a true democratic process could be the catalysts for a shift in the current political dynamics. The question of how the Pakistan Army is affecting the country's democracy remains a significant concern for Pakistan and the world. As we move forward, it's imperative to keep an eye on this evolving situation, as it will undoubtedly continue to shape the future of Pakistan's democracy.